Good morning, it's Thursday, May the 22nd, and I'm your host for AGORACOM TV, Paul Kondakos. AGORACOM TV is a daily, fast-paced, edgy show bringing you the best press releases at the open, along with the Halts, so that you can hopefully profit from them and potentially find your next great small cap investment. Well, it's a busy news cycle this morning. I've got 5 great press releases for you, both from the U.S. side and the Canadian side. I've got resource results to report on, and I also have earnings to report on. And in addition, the second half of our program, I've got 5 halts to report on. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Top story I have for you, Futuremedia trades on the OTC BB under the symbol FMDAY. Disclaimer time, they are an AGORACOM client, so as always, make sure you do your due diligence on all of our clients and companies that we present. Futuremedia announced that they've landed a new contract with Network Rail. Now, Network Rail is the owner and operator of Britain's rail infrastructure. So what they've been asked to do is they've been asked to produce an e-learning program on competition law. The program is for employees of the Contracts and Procurement Division of Network Rail. I've got a quote from the company. This is Andrea Miles, Managing Director of Futuremedia Learning, which commented, "Meeting business-critical compliance requirements such as this one truly shows the power of e-learning as a tool for delivering consistent, message-controlled learning. We are very pleased that our expertise in this area has been recognized by this win. We're looking forward to continuing and deepening our relationship with Network Rail." Now, a little bit about Futuremedia. They're a global media company providing online learning, design, exhibition, and event services to public and private sector organizations. They're last at 20 cents. Off their 52-week high of $2.23. Moving on, General Automotive Company trades on the OTC BB under the symbol GNAU. Once again, disclaimer time, they are an AGORACOM client. However, they've got good news to report on. The revenues have increased by 51% for the first quarter of 2008. These substantial sales increases reflect growing demand for replacement parts. Now, revenue for the 2008 first quarter rose 51%, as I had mentioned previously, to $4 million, and this is up from $2.69 million of the first quarter of 2007. So great results there. Gross profit for the first quarter of 2008 was $345,000 compared to $482,000 in the prior period. We've got a quote from the president and CEO, Joe DeFranceschi, which stated, "Since General Automotive became a public company on February 22nd, 2008, we focused on building a platform for the company's future growth. We're pleased with our revenue increase, which was driven by initiatives such as working more closely with our major distributor customers to satisfy the growing demand for engine replacement parts. In tougher economic times, consumers tend to keep their cars longer, increasing the need for the parts General Automotive supplies. We are also greatly strengthened our balance sheet. We've also greatly strengthened our balance sheet, reducing total liabilities from $12 million to $4.4 million. A little bit about General Automotive. They're a provider of original equipment and aftermarket automotive parts, mobile electronics, and related automotive products at multiple levels of distribution throughout the United States and internationally. They're last at 75 cents, off their 52-week high of $1.35. Moving on, we've got a resource company for you. Kootenay Gold Inc. trades on the TSX Venture under the symbol KTN. We've got great results coming out of this company this morning. These are the first assay results from its ongoing Phase 2 10,000-meter drill program on its wholly owned Promontorio project in Sonora, Mexico. The drilling has intersected wide intervals of low to high-grade silver-gold polymetallic mineralization to a depth of 444 meters, and of note, it remains open at depth. So I've got some results for you. These are the highlights of the program. Hole KP25-08, we've got 386 meters, grading 70 grams per ton of silver equivalent and 1.45% combined lead zinc. Within that intercept, we have a more concentrated intercept of 270 meters, grading 94 grams per ton of silver equivalent and 2.1% combined lead zinc. Hole KP23-08, we've got 437 meters, grading 53 grams per ton of silver equivalent and 1.16% combined lead zinc. So we've got great results coming out of this company. Check out the press release. They've got more results, more assay results for you to digest, but I just wanted to give you the highlights. Now, a little bit about the company. Kootenay is an emerging exploration company actively developing mineral projects in BC, Canada, and in the Sierra region of Mexico. They're last at $2.20 off their 52-week high of $2.75. Next one, Legend International, another OTC BB company, trades under the symbol LGDI. Once again, disclaimer time, they are an AGORACOM client. However, this is a follow-up to news that they had reported on several weeks ago. Great news. Legend International is announcing that they've that they've announced a $100 million private placement. The company has agreed to issue 40 million shares of common shares. 40 million shares of common shares at a price of $2.50 per share for gross proceeds of $100 million. The private placement was led by BMO Capital Markets and included 25 North American and international institutional investors. Now, the net proceeds of the financing will be used to advance the ongoing development of the company's phosphate projects in the Georgina Basin in the Mount Isa region of Queensland, Australia. Now, a little bit of history of why they're raising these funds is because several weeks ago they announced that they had completed a scoping study which showed that the company would have earnings of $1.7 billion once the plant was built and up and running, with phosphates at a price of $400 per ton. So very significant news coming out of the company. It looks like they're moving forward with their plans to construct the mine. They're last at $2.97 off their 52-week high of $5.05. Last but not least, Avalon Ventures trades on the TSX under the symbol AVL. Once again, an AGORACOM client. It just so happens that 4 of our 5 press releases were AGORACOM clients, but as always, the news stands on its own. We've got results from the Phase 2 drilling program, which was carried out on its 100% owned Thor Lake Rare Metals project in the Northwest Territories. Initial assays confirm the northern extension of the rare earth element in rich zones in the Lake Zone deposit. So we've got a confirmation of relatively high proportion of the heavy rare earth elements. These elements are in short supply, yet are vital to many current electronics, which include the iPod, LCD screens, hybrid cars, and a host of other electronics. So the rare earth elements are critical components to these electronics, so that's why we believe that demand for these rare earth elements is just going to continue to grow exponentially. It's a very technical press release that Avalon put out this morning. So what AGORACOM has done, we're putting together a Beyond the Press release for anybody that's interested in learning more about this company. It will be hosted on our site, agoracom.com. Just look up Avalon. The company's last at $1.47 off their 52-week high of $2.34. That's it for press releases. Moving on to our next segment, the halts of the day. We have Carlisle Goldfields Limited trades on the TSX under the symbol CGJ. They're halted pending news. Committee Bay Resources Limited on the TSX Venture under the symbol CBR. They've been halted pending news. Norwood Resources Limited on the venture under the symbol NRS. They've been halted pending news. Echelon Capital Corp on the venture ECO.P, halted pending news. And finally, Niblack Mining Corporation on the venture NIB, halted pending news. That's a wrap for today. I'm your host, Paul Kandakos. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow. We've got more great press releases and halts at the open for you.